Animelab and Funimation are merging.
I will personally remove your fucking toenails with the fucking end of a hammer, you fucking ass. I will fucking drain the life out of your fucking useless fucking soul. Shut the fuck up.
Now, I, like many other people, enjoy anime. It's a very fun and good medium, and the art style... Ooh, very nice. Anime titties everywhere. Delicious. And also, I live in Australia, like many viewers. Problem with Australia is, besides having big-ass spiders that'll steal your babies like the coyotes did in the 80s, is that we don't get very many, quality foreign media. A good example is Adult Swim, or probably the main example, because Adult Swim doesn't work well in Australia for some reason. I don't know why, it's stupid, but that just kind of sets an example. A lot of the foreign media that we do get will be either on, like, sort of the free air TV, or we have to choose one of about three or four streaming sites to do this. Now that's where things like Animelab and Viz Media comes in, specifically Madman. Viz Media focuses more on the manga side, and I will gladly suck off the CEO of Viz Media any day of the week. I'm just gonna be sitting in science class, bored out of my brains while we're talking about physics, and I'll just be reading Fire Punch, You know how it is. And especially with the Shonen Jump app, after Shonen Jump decided, damn, let's not give those Outback hooligans the physical Shonen Jump magazine in 2012. They made an app for it, which is also made and distributed by Viz Media. So you have this company that sort of runs all of the source material, the manga, the light novels, things like that, even like the art books. And then you have Madman. Madman is a very good company. They distribute the anime part. I don't know if Viz Media and Madman are particularly joint business partners, but they're damn well at what they do. Okay? I remember being a wee child. I would sit in my after-school care, and the carer would come and pop in Sailor Moon, and I'd see that Madman logo, and my small 7-year-old self would start crying because of how fucking awesome it was. You get a pie in the face of a bat. Boom. It's epic. But at some point, I don't remember when, I don't remember where or how, Madman was like, what if we made a streaming service? Kind of like Crunchyroll and Funimation, but with a better UI, which leads to a better UX, user experience. Now, there are one or two problems with Animelab as a streaming service. Some of the things can be a little slow at times. All of my Lenovo laptops sometimes can't quite keep up with certain things, but they do a lot of good things. If you have a subscription, you're able to download the episodes, which on my iPhone 8 only takes like 2-3 minutes. I gotta make sure the apps are running, but that's besides the point. Animelab has been known for supporting the creators, especially here in Australia and in New Zealand, since they are directly owned by Madman, and Madman's just a good company. And you have all that until a couple of days ago at this recording, when Animelab announced that they would be merging with Funimation. Now, for a wee boy like me that can barely pay for Animelab, and that literally got the Prime through a Macca's Monopoly coupon code, this sunk my heart a little bit. Funimation is a really big dubbing company. They're one of the biggest in the world. I remember watching Assassination Classroom dubbed. Don't ask me why. I was a very small boy. My knees had barely grown in, but you know how it do be. You just want to find the most efficient way to do these sorts of things. So I remember seeing that Funimation logo, I'm like, okay, cool. The only other time that I can remember using Funimation was to watch Initial D, because Funimation just for some reason had no ads, and being a little kitty, I do that shit. I've already explained why you wouldn't go to Crunchyroll here in Australia, because the UI is absolute dog shit. Animelab has definitely a better UI. That is the exact same with Funimation. The Funimation UI was god tier trash. It was disgusting. And according to many people, the user support is also really bad. Customer service, not very nice. And yeah, this is not good. That's not the main reason I'm a bit pissed that Animelab is fusing with Funimation. The main reason is censoring and dubs overall. Funimation in their heyday, they were pretty good, you know. They did a lot of good things. They bring us the original Dragon Ball Z dub, which is fucking fire, and just other things. But recently, and by recently I mean since prison school to when I can remember, they have been switching up the dubs and changing certain things. The most common one, or the most famous one, was the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid dub, talking about the male patriarchy. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like my anime with unneeded and unwanted political ideals in it. I don't like my anime censored for Western media. I don't like it when games do this either, but that's besides the point. I don't like getting a half-baked, censored piece of shit that they had to strap to a dingo in order to get it across the country. That is a very big problem. Funimation built its entire company on bringing things to Western shores. I believe specifically in America. They came from California. If you want to know more about this, a guy named Just Stop on YouTube has a very good video on how Funimation became the most hated dub studio, and it runs through a little brief history about Funimation. So you got that. That is legitimately the main problem that I have with Funimation fusing with Animelab, because Animelab would be like this godsend. It would be this angel that would appear on the battlefield of pirating media and getting big ol' anime titties, and it'd lift you up like fucking Mercy, okay? It would give you what you needed. Sure, some shows you would have to go to Crunchyroll, or you would have to do the old, you know, Kiss Anime little thing, but overall it's a good customer experience. Some shows may have been locked behind paywalls like Fire Force, but overall it was a really good experience, and I really enjoy it. It's my go-to streaming anime service, mainly because of that McDonald's coupon. But before then even, I'd watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on there, or I'd just watch shows because it's genuinely good user interface. And now that it's being fused, I'm worried about my friends who watch the dub and the sub. I'm worried about people who, you know, watch anime while they're doing their work, or genuinely sit down and decide, why don't I watch the dub because I'm tired? They're gonna get censored dialogue, shows, and political ideals, whether they like it or not, which will be crammed in there and have, in all likeliness, nothing to do with the show or movie that they are watching. That won't be fun. And it makes me want to fucking kick babies in the stomach, use their head asses as nunchucks, you know what I'm saying? With that out of the way, we come to our next problem, which is, a monopoly. Not only will a monopoly of the commercial anime industry, especially in Australia, squash any competition, but it will also halt innovation. Which, you know, sucks balls. It's ass. It's stupid. A big reason why indie game creators and filmmakers are able to break through is because of the competitive market, which is a very cool thing and is a very good thing, especially in capitalism. This is through individual releases and distributors. That is quite literally the competitive market. The freedom to be able to sell or to get sold something independently. It's where numerous products compete with one another to gain a consumer's, that shmoney. The consumer's shmoney. Glorious. For example, you won't see the average person with both an Xbox and a PlayStation. Most people can't afford that, or they have a specific system that they really like. For example, my friend Zach, you've probably seen him, he's one of the hosts of the podcast. He mainly has a PS4. It's because he has no reason to have an Xbox. He has no reason to have a Microsoft console. That's also the same with my friend Connor, except he uses an Xbox. Not only is he a bit of a Microsoft baby, but also he hasn't really found a need for a PS4 or Sony console in general until recently, when all of his friends have left him. Anyway, these two platforms both fight for individuals, for, the consumer. And they do so through basically having the same product and trying to one-up each other or bring the prices down. It's like iPhones, in the sense that a vast majority of the things that they have will be the same or extremely similar. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't have original titles or exclusives. We see this all the time with things like, The Last of Us, or with Halo and Gears of War. You're allowed that, of course, just as long as a majority of your platform has a majority of the same thing and the same working titles. This is very different to streaming services, if you wouldn't have guessed. Instead of all services being able to use any anime, or in just let's say Netflix's case and Stan's case over here in Australia, it might be HBO, I don't know what holds the license from fucking America and shit. But each streaming service only has one of its particular show. Let's say Stan only has regular show, while Netflix has Close Enough. It's because they both hold different licenses. And it's kinda dumb, because that means that each company will go into a bidding war for a particular license, where shit flies and one comes out victorious, the others cry. The victor of these bidding wars gets the exclusive rights to broadcast that specific show. These licenses restrict which platforms can have what anime in the cases of Animelab and Crunchyroll. That means no variation or exact same content, effectively making paying for multiple streaming services a necessity if you want to get two different shows. I can't think of any off the top of my head because Animelab has almost everything that I want. Basically, shit's fucked. That in of itself is its own problem in a way where pirating in many cases is probably better. A guy named Uniquenameosaurus, I can't say that name, created a video on this sort of subject, which I'll also have linked down in the description. It's very informative, but to my knowledge, it's pretty long. It's probably going to be longer than this video, I don't know. These services, which are basically incentivizing pirating through just holding on to these products. You don't want to go around paying for multiple services. That'll just end up costing more. It's pretty dumb. But that all changes, kind of, not really, with the merge of Funimation and Animelab. Now, Sony has a monopoly over the commercial anime industry, as Funimation is owned by Sony, and so is Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll was bought by Funimation. This is fun. After the 17th of January, this date has been far exceeded, there will be only one company that can legally give you the anime you want and dubs, which is Animelab. I'm not mentioning Crunchyroll because I know barely anyone around me that uses Crunchyroll. Animelab is the main proponent of anime in Australia, which I've probably already mentioned in this. It's just not fun, and in general, streaming services like this aren't a good thing necessarily. I'm a physical media kind of guy. I like to hold on to my things as discs and DVDs and vinyls and, I don't know, dildos. I'm sure there's a Halo dildo out there somewhere. That'd be very funny. But those are the main reasons why I really despise this merge that has happened by the time that this video is out. I'm also cutting into this video because I'm lazy and the first part was recorded earlier and I can't be bothered to re-record it. It's not fun. I really do genuinely hate this merge. It makes me wanna grab a small infant and throw it against a wall so hard that their back will become a literal frag grenade and set off car alarms because of the shrapnel rippling out of its soft, water-like skin. That is my take on the Animelab and Funimation merge. I probably got a couple of things wrong, which hopefully I'll correct in a post. I probably did. Yeah, thank you for watching.